Hey, good morning, church. Hope you guys are having a great morning so far. So we're starting through the book of Psalms, as you know, and we are into Psalms verses 18 or chapter 18 today. Now, chapter 18 is long; it's 50 verses. It's a longer one. And so be prepared. We're going to go fast. I have about 3 minutes to crush all 50 verses in, and I'm going to do as best I can. So we're going to go fast. So here we go. We're going to start in verse 1, right? So verses 1 through 3, I'm going to break it down. Let me go back. I'm going to break it down. So in my Bible, everything is broken down in different paragraphs, right? So I'm going to break it down as those paragraphs are broken down, right? So if we jump in, verses 1 through 3 is David. David wrote this. David praising God. So, the whole book of Psalms is all songs of praise, right? So it's very fitting, obviously, and very how we need to have our mindset is to start everything off with praising God. Start our day off, start everything off praising God, right? So verses 1 through 3 is David praising God, right? So 4 through 6 is David's situation. He's in trouble. He's in a trap. He's got enemies all around him. He's in trouble, right? So that's what verses 4, 5, and 6 are saying. It's saying that he needs help. So then verses 7 through 15 is God's response. So if you put yourself in David's David's eyes, David's shoes, this is what David is saying he's seeing, right? This is the visual representation of God coming and saving David, right? So there's all these amazing things, and you really should read through it. It's very, very illustrated and very just crazy. If you imagine exactly how detailed it is, it's just an amazing picture if you just read through it and imagine it, right? So a thing I underlined at the very end, verse 15, the depths of the sea became visible. The foundations of the world were exposed. At your rebuke, Lord, at the blast of the breath of your nostrils. So there we see David going back and saying, this is all because of you, God. You just said this, and the blast of the breath of your nostrils, and this amazing thing that you just read, I encourage you guys to go back and read it, happened, and it's incredible. So then verses 16 through 19 is God with David, right? So verse 16, he reached down from heaven and took hold of me. He pulled me out of the deep waters. So this is David saying, God came down and he helped me, right? So then getting into verse 20 through 24, this is the reward that David is talking about. So verse 20 says, we're going to actually read through this one. Verse 20 says, the Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness. He repaid me according to the cleanness of my hands. For I have kept the ways of the Lord and have not turned from my God to wickedness. Indeed, I have kept all his ordinances in mind. So one thing I underlined is in mind right there. David is obviously not perfect. No man is perfect. He's sitting there, he's claiming that I have kept your ordinances in mind. I've done my best, have not disregarded his statutes. I was blameless toward him and kept myself from sinning. So the Lord repaid me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his sight. So this is the reward, David. So David was in trouble, asked God. God came down, and this is the reward. This is after God helped him. This is the reward, right? So then verses 25 through 29, in my mind, is what I wrote down. I wrote down 3 words: grace, mercy, and power. So this is God's grace, mercy, and power showing. So, 25 says, with the faithful, you prove yourself faithful. With the blameless man, you prove yourself blameless. With the pure, you prove yourself pure. And here's the power of God. But with the crooked, you prove yourself shrewd. For you rescue an afflicted people, but you humble those with haughty eyes. How do you say that? So grace, mercy, and power. God is really graceful and merciful towards the faithful and the blameless, but then he's powerful and he can turn away the shrewd, right? The crooked. So there's a lot more. I only got about halfway through this, but I'm running out of time. So I really encourage you guys to go through, study this, and try and break it down paragraph by paragraph like I did. It's very fun to group it together and see exactly where, and put yourself in David's point of view. So hope you guys have a great day. God bless.